This year is the second of a 3-year partnership between the Knights of St Columba National Action Project, Missio Scotland and Missio England and Wales. The money you help to raise throughout the partnership will help us support various projects and services all over the world, including our work in Kenya. Kenya is a country on the east coast of Africa. It lies on the equator and is about 4,500 miles away from Great Britain. Kenya is just over twice the size of Scotland, England and Wales together, although it has a smaller population of about 46 million. Life in Kenya is often challenging. The country is the economic and transport hub of East Africa and is known for its sandy beaches and wildlife parks. But recent terror attacks by the Somalia-based group Al-Shabaab has had a negative impact on the country's tourism industry. Agriculture remains the backbone of the Kenyan economy. Kenya's crops contribute towards 50% of the country's entire export earnings, with coffee, tea, tobacco, corn, wheat and sugarcane leading the way. About 80% of Kenya's population work in the agricultural sector, and most of its output is from small-scale farming. Many families rely on subsistence farming and their diet consists of maize, beans, cassava and potatoes, but the country's infrastructure is inadequate and 80% of the land is arid, which makes the country prone to droughts, hunger and famine. The town of THIKA lies around 20 miles north-east of Nairobi, and it is an industrial area surrounded by plantations and countryside. Most people work either in the town's factories or the outlying coffee and pineapple plantations. Large-scale planting of coffee, tea, tobacco, corn, wheat and sugarcane means that plantations sprawl over thousands of acres of land. The land is in the hands of a few individuals who own the crops for as far as the eye can see. Work on the plantations is painstaking and intensive. On the coffee plantation, the workers are busy picking and drying the coffee beans at harvest time. Each coffee bean is hand-picked from the bushes, and at the end of the day, the basket of beans is weighed. The workers are paid according to how much they pick. Sometimes they earn as little as £1 per day. Plantation work is also seasonal. During the rainy season, there is nothing for labourers to do, which means they earn nothing. Deep inside the plantation lies a settlement of tin huts. The plantation labourers, mostly women and children, live here. Their husbands and fathers have travelled to towns in search of unskilled manual work, in factories or as night watchmen, so families are separated. Several generations of one family exist in one windowless room without electricity and running water. Landless, they do not even have ground on which to grow their own food. Remote and isolated, the workers remain hidden away from the rest of the world. EUNICE is 12 years old and lives in a hut with her mother, one of her older sisters and her 2 nephews, Isaac, aged 6, and Ryan, who's 9. Primary school in Kenya is free, but other items such as uniforms and books must be paid for. This is too expensive for many families, so parents have no choice but to bring the children to work and help feed the family. The Congregation of the Assumption Sisters of Nairobi is an order of African sisters established in 1953 by the then Archbishop of Nairobi, John Joseph McCarthy, a missionary from Ireland. The congregation saw that the plantation workers were in need of help, so they came to THIKA. The sisters live out Archbishop McCarthy's motto, taken from the words of Jesus, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." With Missio's help, the sisters set up a feeding programme at the local primary school so that the children and all those living on the plantation could be given a well-balanced, nutritious meal every day. By providing a meal, the sisters are encouraging parents to send their children to school. As well as healthy eating, the children will also benefit from an education. Since the sisters set up the feeding programme, many more families are choosing to send their children to school rather than having them work to earn money. Sister Francisca is a qualified teacher. As well as teaching in the school, she helps her fellow sisters to serve the lunchtime meals to the children. Through their witness of love and service, the sisters show the children that they are loved unconditionally by God. The sisters tell the children to take good care of themselves and of one another, encouraging them and enabling them to grow up to be good citizens. The sisters are bringing to the children the peace, the hope and the joy they have in Jesus. Sister Francisca tells the children the words of Pope Francis: to look to the past with thanks, live the present with passion, and embrace the future with hope. With your help, children like EUNICE have hope for a better future. Through your prayers and donations, she and her friends need not be destined to a life of poverty behind the plantation fence. The work of the sisters and their feeding programme is changing the lives of children like EUNICE and her family, but there are thousands of children around the world who still need your help. £5 could provide a balanced meal for one child each day for a fortnight. £38 can give all 350 children at the school a drink of milk or porridge. £200 could provide 60 children with a piece of fruit every month. Missio is part of the Pontifical Mission Societies. We are the Pope's own charity for overseas mission. We work to support the Church all around the world when it is too young or too poor to support itself. We rely entirely on the prayers and generosity we get from the public. We receive no funding from the UK government. Thank you for being missionaries of God's love. Your help enables some of the world's poorest children to know that someone cares for them and to experience the mercy of God.